all of our viewers on Synergy TV, all those of you on the Caribbean Showtime Television in Canada, all those of you listening to us on U975 FM Multicultural Radio. My dear friends, a very warm welcome to another edition of the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I am Zelisa Budu Singh Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy, absorb. I always remind you the importance of having pen and paper nearby so you could take notes and you could take down important numbers that would be helpful for you and your loved ones. Directing this morning and in Master Control, Hisham Costello. On behalf of our team, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a beautiful, blessed, productive and great day today. It's Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. I trust all is well. And of course, it's Thursday, the 17th of August, 2023. A day and time we'll never have the opportunity to have again. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours. Let's go to our quote for today, which is coming to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo. And our quote says, "Teaching is more than imparting knowledge. It is inspiring change. Learning is more than absorbing facts. It is acquiring understanding." You know, I felt this was really very nice and very deep, and I'm going to read it again for those listening on the radio. Teaching is more than imparting knowledge. It is inspiring change. Learning is more than absorbing facts. It is acquiring understanding. Beautiful, deep, and very important for us to understand. Yeah? So thank you so much, Hisham. That came to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo. Fab India Expo, this is the white tent opposite Medford gas station in Chaguanas. You have to check them out. When you go, you will want to continue to go, all right? It's quite intoxicating because of the great deals, the beautiful clothing at the most affordable prices. So you can go, get your clothing, shoes, accessories, household items, furniture. They've got a whole new section just there for furniture and ideas. And if you want to redecorate or you're moving into a new home, check them out. Not forgetting the food court and the play station, the play area for the children. Their new addition, they've got an area designated for fresh fruit, juices and punches. So you could go choose your fruits and have them make fresh fruit juices for you and punches. It's all new and part of what they offer. So remember to make it a family affair. Take the entire family, spend a lovely day. And I want to remind you, it's safe and secure parking, all right? So it's a one-stop shop. Make it a family affair. Check them out today. Today, I'm going to be in conversation with Sajina Kadir. She's an attorney at law, and she's going to be talking to us about common law partners, the rights. You know, very often there are people who choose to get married. They believe in the institution of marriage. They believe in that marriage certificate. And then there are others who fall in love and decide we'd live together without that piece of paper or the institution of saying, you know, legally we're married. And that's their choice and they're entitled to that. But it's important for you to also understand legally what are your rights. So she's going to be talking to us about that later on today. But before we go into that topic and before I introduce Ms. Kadir, I want to talk a little bit about yesterday Krishnamurti called me. I've known him for many, many years. And I'd like you to put up the flyer. I want to talk about the Shri Krishna Leela that's happening at Diwali Nagar in Chaguanas, all right? So it's the Shiva Gana organization. They are presenting Shri Krishna Leela at the Diwali Nagar in Chaguanas, Saturday 19th, that's this Saturday to Sunday 27th, 5:30 to 7:30. 5:30 p.m. nightly. Make it a family affair. They've got puja and a lot of things that's happening, and it's a really nice, I would say, extremely nice family affair. You could take the entire family, your grandparents, your aunties, your uncle, because it's the Sri Krishna Leela. Now, it's hosted by the Shiva Gana organization, and Krishnamurti has been headed this for many, many years. I've known him for many years, and I know his standards, and I know his commitment towards growth and development when it comes to culture and religion. I know many children who are now adults would have passed through his hands, that he would have, you know, really polished and put them on the main stage, and these are now international. They've taken us to international standards, and they are now adults in foreign land, making us extremely proud. So officiating would be Pandit Satyesh Maharaj, Pandit Satya Maharaj, Pandit Narendra Maharaj, Pandit Mahindra Maharaj. Check it out. It's at the Diwali Nagar in Chagonas. It starts on Saturday 19th, Sunday 27th August, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Come out and support. Take your children. These are things that you know, you would want your children to see, and it's highlighting the Shri Krishna Leela from, you know, but more importantly, it's ensuring that your children understand their culture, their religion, their heritage, and we support local. We support all involved. Yeah. So I would like to tell you to please be mindful. Take the kids, take the entire family, head on down. And I want to ask you to support this. It's the Shri Krishna Leela at the Diwali Nagar in Chagonas from Saturday 19th, Sunday 27th August, 5:30 to 7:30. I believe they've got refreshments on sale and things like that. Reminding you where you could witness the childhood Leela of Shri Krishna, as you know, from the pages of the Holy Bhagavat, dance, drama, action, songs, special effects, and much more. So please head on down and let's support local, let's support culture and religion. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hisham. Let me say good morning and a very warm welcome to this beautiful beauty and brains, I like to call her, attorney at law, Mr. Gina Kadir. Good morning and
welcome. Good morning, Zelisa. You look absolutely beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
Good morning to everyone locked on as well.
Nice to have you with us.
Always great to be here.
It's always nice to have you in presence. I know that you also are very consumed. You wear many hats, but I love that you're committed to ensuring that we continue to share information.
Of course.
Today, we are going to be talking about something that is real. It happens. And as I was saying earlier on, and on radio this morning when I was talking about the topic today, for our listeners to know that this is coming up, there are people who, I need to get married, I need that ring on the finger, I need that piece of paper, I need that marriage certificate, and they believe in the institution of marriage. There are people, however, fall in love and decide, I want to live together, and they're quite happy and they're entitled to do that. But it's important that they also know, because sometimes they put themselves in a situation where they don't even know what their rights are. That's so right. Today that's what we're going to be talking about, common law relationships, and you know, where you stand in terms of the law. Welcome.
Thank you. And you know, sometimes you live common law, everybody is fine with it, but the moment something goes wrong, one of the partners say, well, I don't owe you nothing, we're not married. But little do they know that after 5 years and a day passes living in a domestic-like relationship, you acquire rights tantamount to a married partner.
Whoa! So after 5 years and 1 day?
Yes.
Oh, good.
You could apply to the court to declare yourself a cohabitational partner, which entitles you in the realms of the family law in Trinidad to similar rights as if you're going to apply for a divorce then.
So, if you are living together for 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, not that 1 day, you're not entitled?
No, you have to cross that 5-year threshold to be entitled for property settlements.
Okay.
Definitely.
So let's talk about this.
Right. I wanted to start with a very common topic with, you know, we've touched on property settlement on this program before. I wanted to touch on rights if you're in a common law relationship, but you're a victim of violence. I wanted people to understand that your entitlements to the redress in the law is not diminished or reduced because you're not married. You have the same rights to apply for relief from the court as a married partner.
Now, I know you're very passionate, and this is because of discussions we would have had, conversations we would have had in front of the camera and outside of the camera.
Yes.
You're very passionate when it comes to sharing information, especially about domestic violence and abuse.
Yes.
You don't like it. You deal with a lot of it.
Yes.
So it's important, and it's important for you, as I know, and for me as well, to ensure that our citizens, men and women, are aware that regardless to what relationship you're in, whether you're married, unmarried, you're dating, or whatever it is, and some people as well live double lives.
Yes.
Some people have blended families, some have families outside of their family, all sorts of scenarios and situations we have to deal with on a daily basis.
Yes.
But whatever the situation, nobody has the right to hit you or to treat you less than you should be treated.
Yes.
Nobody has the right to pull you down. Nobody has the right to degrade you, to use profanity. They need to learn, or they need to understand, they need to respect and do not cross that
That's right,
line.
Zelisa. You know, and of a scenario recently, I always say, if two adults can't learn to tone it down and have a conversation, and there's profanity, as you say, and then there is shouting and degrading conduct, then, you know, it might be easy for us to say, why not just leave? But it's difficult for the person involved when there are feelings. But they have to remember that there's no need to stay where you feel degraded. You know, and that's why I want common law partners to understand. If anybody hits you that line, well, we're not married, you're not getting anything, and then they're violent on top of it, you could apply for a protection order. You go to the magistrate's court in the jurisdiction or area in which you live in, tell them, person X of this address is my common law partner, and he is verbally abusing, not only physical, verbal, mental, emotional, psychological, financial, sexual. There are so many different types of abuses.
Correct.
And you bring that person up. The summons that you ask for will be given to the summons officer, and it will be served on that person. Or you could ask for the summons and get an officer whom you know to serve it, and the matter will come before the court. And when it comes before the court, you either fix it for trial and get an interim protection order if you're going to continue staying in that house. So you need something to guard you. Now, people might say it's a piece of paper. Sometimes also, to me, I feel like it's a piece of paper. But you have the redress in the law is there, so you have to take what is available to act as a safeguard. So if you have that, what we call piece of paper, and some act of violence occurs or you feel threatened, upon a mere allegation to the police, you could be arrested if the order is against you. Then they investigate, you know. It's so serious now. They're not going to take you and ask you questions, or they're going to arrest you, detain you, ask questions of you to determine if a breach of a protection order occurred. So it's very, very serious.
Nice. And I'm happy that it's being treated as a serious matter.
Definitely.
Because in the past, it was treated very casually, or people would say, they go to the police and they say to them, well, this is a husband and wife business. We're not getting involved. Go home and fix your problem.
Yes.
There are other serious issues to deal with. That problem or that couple or that situation could very well end up in
a
death.
fatality. That's correct. It could. So if the powers that be, the police service exists, and they just say casually, you know, go home or go to the priest or go to the pundit or something, it might be good advice, but it's not the best, because that law enforcement aspect must take in place to set a precedence that, you know, you all are being warned. You all are common law partners. You all need to either figure it out or let the law help you all figure it out, but there's no need for this violence to continue. And I mean, hats off to the gender-based violence unit of the TTPS, because I mean, there's an entire unit now to investigate these things, you know, and it's very prevalent. And it's something I want common law partners to understand. Never feel that your rights is less than a married partner. And once you remember that, you would not feel frustrated. You'll go to an attorney, go to legal aid, go and get help.
Great. So we start things off excited already, very enthused. We're going to go to a quick break where we take in some important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation with attorney at law Sajina Kadir. Today she's talking to us about common law relationships and their rights of the individuals, all right? And you know, we're adding in domestic violence. I want to encourage you and ask you and let you know that if you have a concern or you're in a situation where you need advice, this program has been designed to help you, all right? Reach out, be strong enough to pick up that phone, call us and talk to us. Ms. Kadir will be happy to guide you accordingly and let you know the legal aspect of it and what you can do. Or you can send me a WhatsApp message. I'll read it to her and she will advise you accordingly, all right? Reach out today. Let this day the beginning of a new you, because you are taking a stand for yourself to make a difference in your life, all right? When we return, stay with us.
This is the final notice to all our patrons. Fab India Expo will definitely be closing on Monday 21st August. Everything in store up to 80% off. Final few days to relish multi-cuisine food court. Big sale on furniture. We thank all our patrons for their support. We should be back for Diwali. Once again, final extension. Fab India Expo will definitely be closing on 21st August. No further extensions.
Super quality supermarket, best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Couva Car Park, Couva, 98 Endeavour Road, Chagonas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket.
Welcome to OATS, Optimal Alternative Treatment Solutions Limited, the future of healthcare, which provides full body scans, which we detect and treat cancer, tumors, all heart conditions, cysts, fibroids, dementia, Parkinson's, just to name a few. No radiation and medication is not needed. If you are tired of getting no results, call us at 354-4459 or 356-7226.
Are you ready to own your own home? But worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa. To all of our viewers on Synergy TV, all of our viewers on the Caribbean Showtime Television in Canada, all of our listeners on U975 FM Multicultural Radio, those of you near and far, thank you so much for choosing us, allowing us to answer those unanswered questions. So as I indicated to you, or I suggested to you prior to the break, 3847142. 3847142. So you could send me a WhatsApp, I'll read it to attorney at law, or you can call us. Feel free to call if you may have a question or concern, or you are in a relationship and you need some sort of legal advice. We're here to do that for you. Let today be the beginning of a new and improved you. Love yourself, all right? Welcome back.
Thank you. Just a spillover of the domestic violence topic that we was on there with common law spousal. Some parties, because they have no financial means to sustain themselves out of a relationship, they may want to stay in this relationship. And that's why it's important to talk about maintenance rights for a common law spouse.
You're very correct. And, you know, before I'm guilty, I would say, well, if you're getting beat up or you're not happy or somebody mistreating you or whatever.
I think all of us are guilty of that.
I would have said
so
it, get out and go. Get
Yeah.
out and go. Why you staying and take it? Oh God,
Yeah.
love yourself. Or, you know, think about your children at least.
Yes.
The damage, if you don't think about you, but think about your children and what it's doing to them. But when you realize and understand, there are many reasons why people stay. Some people feel I've invested so many years.
Let me try
to do it because of the children, and that's far from the truth when you say you're doing it for the children.
I agree with you doing on
That is
magistrate said
far
that the
from
other day, because the child is in a toxic relationship.
Exactly.
So you think you have a home that look nice and pretty for the sake of the child.
And you
but
saying, oh,
you
I'm
don't.
doing it to keep my family alive and I'm doing it for my children. You're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, you're right. Some people financially cannot survive, so they're dependent on that. Many reasons.
And some
right?
people use it as a trump card to say, well, if you leave me, well, you will have nothing.
Yeah.
That's why I want persons to know their rights. So we touched on the magistrate's court. So a common law partner could apply to the magistrate's court. Same way you go to the court in the area you live, ask for a maintenance summons. The summons officer will serve it. You will get a date of hearing, and you will by then calculate, if I go off on my own, how much would I need to maintain me? Now, we have to be fair to the common law spouse, the other one. They can't mind you for the rest of your life, right? You know, nothing might prevent somebody's income earning capacity. So you leave the relationship, you apply for maintenance, but it will be for a period then, not for the duration of your life. So just like how you could move on to find somebody else, the other partner could. So they don't have to mind or maintain you for the rest of their life then, right? So you look at things like food expenses for the month, maybe paying some bills, phone bills, electricity, that kind of thing. What it will take to sustain me of my own if I leave this relationship, and then you ask for it in court. And if you ask for $2,500, and we're in the court hearing now, and the other partner is not able to meet it, the court will grant an interim order, meaning an order in the meantime, pending a trial. That trial, so you'll be getting maintenance in the meantime until the court hears the facts on both sides, the evidence on both sides. So both partners now have to bring in their proof of their income, proof of their expenses, and the court will determine on a reasonable finding of fact what might be the suitable maintenance to pay to this person, so that you look at the economic reality of the situation.
So the court actually determines the amount of money that you'll get in terms of maintenance.
Yes, if parties can't agree.
Okay, and that is basically based on the income that's coming in.
Yes, income and expenses. So you can have somebody getting a $30,000 income, $30,000. But if their expenses are so much that they have loans to pay, or they're seeing predominantly about the children's tuition and that sort of thing, that is really causing a massive deduction of expenses, so that their income is but merely a small sum. The court has to look at the economic reality. The person has to live amidst their expenses as well.
Well, of course, yeah.
Right?
Of course.
So that's why they always say in court, yes, you may be entitled to a similar standard of living when you leave a relationship until you can get your foot back in order. But the person can't mind you for the rest of your life, because nothing prevents your income earning capacity. Nothing prevents you from sending out resumes, getting a job. And a job you could be the most qualified person, and you can't say, I'm not getting a job as a lecturer in UE. You can't say that. If you have to be a cashier somewhere, nothing prevents you from earning an income, so that you get your foot back in order and you make attempts for yourself rather than solely depend on your partner who is now your ex.
And you know, there are some people that are lazy and very dependent, and
That's
they wouldn't
right.
get up and look for a job.
Yes.
And then there are people that, you're correct, they may have degrees,
Yes.
and they cannot find something in their area, but they get up and they work.
Yes.
They pump gas. I mean,
because
I've
you need
seen
to.
and heard of people that do whatever it takes, go and work in a restaurant,
Have 2-3
pump gas,
jobs.
and do 3 jobs just to maintain themselves
make
and their
ends meet.
children. Yes.
And similar way you apply for maintenance as a common law partner for yourself, you could also apply for maintenance for the children. Because that is of right. The only issue is quantum, meaning how much, right? So therefore, if the children is with the partner who left the house, that person is entitled to maintenance, because they will probably have custody. and similarly the other party is entitled to access. So I mean, knowing your rights with regard to maintenance is definitely important, and that's just in the magistrate's court. We have maintenance and property settlement in the family court now. So if you choose to, so if you have not just maintenance you want now, if you want redress with regard to a vehicle, so you're leaving this relationship, there was a family vehicle, there may be 2 family vehicles, then you know you may have land, house, different assets. Just like in a marriage you call them matrimonial assets, here you have assets that came to be part of a property settlement if there's a separation, but only a higher court of jurisdiction, not the magistrate's court, only the family court, which is the high court, could deal with that property settlement issue. So if you have property to settle, the matter belongs in the family court, and there you could ask for your maintenance as well.
Understood. Now I want to poke a little here. What about relationships where you have a mistress,
Right.
or you get involved with someone out of your marriage?
Yes.
You're still in your home, going home to your wife, whatever. You get involved, you have on the side, whatever tag you want. That woman becomes pregnant. She has a child for you. Maybe went on to have 2 or 3 children for you in some cases. So you have a family outside of your family.
Right.
Now the thing is, you're not living with that woman and her children.
Right.
What rights that woman and her children, or that woman and her child, may have?
Right. So with regard to the child, that's quick to answer, because even though they're not living together, as a judge said the other day, you make it, you mind it.
It's yours, right.
So you have to find means to maintain the child, you know.
Because that child did not ask to come here.
Exactly.
That child, you understand?
Yes.
Right.
But with regard, so we already know that the person could apply for maintenance for the children, right? Whether it's in the magistrate's court or the family court. But with regard to property rights, unless you prove that you're in a common law relationship, which is where you live together in a household, in a domestic-like relationship, you have to meet the threshold of 5 years, so 5 years and a day then.
Right.
So if you're really not living with them, then you really just gambled away your rights and you're lost.
So if they were living with them, let's say during the week, you buy your wife in your wife's house, and on the weekend, you pack up and you go and buy that lady. So you in her house, or the house you provide for her.
Right. So that's so interesting. It happens,
because it happens, it's life.
Right. So in a situation like that, the partner on the outside has an onerous and difficult task of proving a common law relationship and proving that the legal marriage is but merely legal in paper, but really and truly in actuality it is estranged. So they have a real difficult task. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but I will say it's an onerous task, because if you come before the court and just expect the court to believe that you all live together, the court will have a floodgate of cases before it, and it will not be fair. So you need to bring witness evidence. And sometimes when it comes to these things, people are afraid to come as witnesses to court. But the witnesses will come and say, wait, no, I know the outside partner and that person to be living together. I attended birthday parties at this household. I would see the man take care of the lawn, the woman will clean the house, and they'll share responsibilities. So you need people now to come.
Even if it's just for a day or 2 in the week?
No, they have to show that they live together in that common law relationship, almost tantamount to that of a married partner.
Okay, understood.
Like that.
And I hope that those out there in that situation, you're paying attention so that you will now be aware of the circumstances before you say, well, that is my husband, or that is whatever the case is.
Yes.
You need to show proof
that
you live with this man for 5 years and 1 day.
Yes. You have to cross the threshold.
You have to cross 5 years and 1 day, and to prove you've had a living relationship day to day.
Yes.
And where that person would come home to you, you have meals together, like you say, you go shopping, grocery shopping.
Yes.
You're living like husband and wife. You're just not married, but you're living like husband and wife.
And I want to add, when you separate from that common law relationship, you have 2 years to bring a property settlement application in the court. So if you come after 3 years, ignorance is no excuse in the law. So you need an attorney to help you act quickly. So in order for you to come before the court for common law rights, it must be within the time frame allowed, unless some exceptional situation exists that you could convince the court that I really couldn't go by an attorney. I really was so sick and it was so impossible, you know. But again, that's difficult. So you always try your best to fall within the 2-year time frame when you separate and you want property settlement rights, to find yourself with an attorney within 2 years of that separation to gain your rights redress then.
Excellent. This is the program Conversations with Zelisa. I'm in conversation with learned attorney at law Sajina Kadir. Today she's talking to us about common law relationships and your rights. And we continue our conversation after these important messages. Stay with us.
Charan's Bookstore. For all your school books, stationery items, uniforms, shoes, board games, toys, and much more. Visit them at any of their 3 branches located at 24 Eastern Main Road, Quezay, San Juan. Telephone number 675-9024 or 675-3607. 53 Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna, 663-1884, 663-1476, or 645-3878. Trin City Mall, Trin City. Contact them at 640-3155.
Calm down.
Check out Charan's Bookstore.
Visit Agri Savers Limited, number 19 Orange Grove Trace, St. Augustine, for all your agriculture, livestock, pet, agri-equipment, hydroponics, cannabis, fishing tackle supplies, and much more. Open Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Contact 473-6074, 663-1094. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Tile Expression Limited, the #1 leader in tiles. Large stock, unbeatable prices, wide variety of porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles, wall and floor tiles, residential and commercial, granite and quartz countertops. Best quality from Spain, Italy, Brazil, India and China. Tile Expression Limited, conveniently located Monroe Road, Kunapir. Telephone 693-0015 or 223-TILE.
Lifetime Solutions, manufacturer of metal roofing, panels, framing, guttering, and related products. Located Lot number 26, Omera Industrial Estate in Arima. Give us a call, 646-5813 for further information. Lifetime Solutions. Give us a call today.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa. I'm in conversation with learned attorney at law Sajina Kadir. And so to all of our viewers on Synergy TV, all of our viewers on the Caribbean Showtime Television in Canada, all of our listeners on U975 FM Multicultural Radio, thank you for choosing us, allowing us to answer those unanswered questions and to influence you in a positive way. Knowledge is power. So to Ms. Kadir, welcome back as we continue our conversation on common law, relationships and your rights.
Before we delve into estate law and stuff, I wanted to just touch on, you know, when I was saying that you could apply to the High Court for property settlement, right? The first thing you must do in the court is to apply for a declaration to deem you the common law partner. And that is what witness evidence is about, right? And once you apply to deem yourself the common law partner, you have things like property, meaning house, land, cars, money in bank, these sort of things to settle. Because remember, just like a married partner, you would have grown into savings, grown into acquiring assets and stuff, right? So the rights are similar to that of a married partner. So if it's a property and the property is valued and one partner can't buy out the other, by the stroke of the court's pen, an order could be made that the property be sold and parties split the proceeds of sale.
Okay.
Similar with vehicles.
Okay, I'm going to read this to you, and it says, good morning. May I ask if the attorney deals with married couple issues? And I'll send you her contact, yes.
Yes,
as a matter of fact, she's one of the attorneys that would have gone on out of her law degree, and what she does, you did mediation and you do so much more.
Yes, yes,
which
I
think
that's
is important.
Yeah, because you have the legalities, but a diligent lawyer, I would even say a lawyer of basic sense, is supposed to know when parties should go for mediation and when that is over, and you should hit the court and file for your divorce and that sort of stuff. And also know when counseling is needed. So you have different portfolios, you need to know when to apply them, right? So back with the property settlement now, you can have a vehicle, same with married partners, same with common law partners when you're dealing with property settlement. If you all can't agree who has the vehicle or buy out each other's share, then the vehicle could be sold and parties split the proceeds of sale. So that's with house, land, vehicle. With regard to monies in bank now, you have the similar property settlement with regard to maintenance, as I explained before. So you could either get a periodical payment, so every month you paid maintenance until you get your foot back in order for 3 years, 2 years, whatever is the agreed term, or whatever the court deems fit. Or you could ask for a lump sum payment and make what you call a clean break. So after you pay me my $250,000 property settlement with regard to maintenance, I don't need to hear from you, I don't need to see you, just give me a check and we move on, like that.
Now, what about situations where that person is asking for maintenance or perhaps getting maintenance, but, I'm being an advocate here, but found themselves in another relationship. So they went on, move on, you in another relationship, but you still want maintenance from that person.
Right, and that's why it's important to put a time frame on its periodical maintenance, because unless the other party knows that they have the right to apply to the magistrate's court or the family court, whichever court they got the order in, right? Unless they know they could apply to vary or discharge the order, then the monies will continue and you have to pay, because if you don't pay, warrants could be issued for your arrest if it's the magistrate court, or contempt proceedings to send you to prison could ensue if it's the family court.
You could go to jail, and that doesn't reflect nicely on you and your future,
No,
your documents and things like that. People don't understand.
You ask such an important question. I want people to understand that an order may have been made, but it isn't cast in stone if your circumstances change. You could apply to vary it, or if parties have totally moved on, living an entire different life, you need to apply to discharge that order.
Yes, because if that person move on, they're moving with somebody else and that person taking care of them.
Yes.
You move on, you live in another life, and you still want this person to mind you.
Yes.
That is not right.
That's immoral. Yeah, so they need to know, even though it's unfair, you have to go back to the legalities and apply to vary or discharge the order according to the circumstances.
Okay, so to this person, you're more than welcome, and perhaps if you want to send me a little note with regards to what sort of marital problems you're talking about, perhaps she could, touch on it a little bit, so it will give you some insight into how you can move forward, okay? So you're very welcome, and the program has been designed to reach out and transform lives, empower you, so you know your rights and you know what you could do, and you don't have to stay stifled as if you can't breathe or you can't.
Yes, they need to know their options. Yeah. So we touched on domestic violence, we touched on maintenance in magistrates court, family court, we touched on property settlement. A very common piece of information people need to understand with common law rights, Zelisa, is with regard to estate law in Trinidad.
Right.
So if for some reason you've been living in a common law relationship and your partner dies and there's all these assets and stuff, right, that constitute their estate, and there's no will,
right,
you have to apply for letters of administration. It's not a letter like people think, it's a process. I tell people come and say, you have a letter of administration, I can't just pull it out from the drawer, it's a process, right? I find it misconstrues everything, and people just don't understand. But an application for letters of administration is a detailed document. So you have to actually apply to the family court first to declare yourself the common law partner if there's no will. Now if there was a will and it called you the common law spouse and it leave X to you, it's smooth sailing.
Okay.
No worries.
Right.
But if the person, he or she passes away and does not leave a will, you have to apply to be declared the common law spouse. And then you apply for letters of administration. Because very often we see in a situation like that, parties will live in common law, but 25 years ago, they left their legally married relationship and they just never filed a divorce or anything.
Oh.
And then that wife comes and say, well, we legally married,
am
I have
married
rights.
to this man.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you need the common law partner needs a declaration from the court stating that I am the common law partner, that is the estranged wife or husband, and I am entitled to, because we have built this, we have bought vehicles together, these are our assets, this is the estate we built, you understand? And if you don't apply to be declared the common law spouse, you're really just wasting time. And if you take long to apply, you have to file an affidavit of delay.
Right.
So when these things happen, I mean, if the person died today, you don't need to rush by the lawyer tomorrow. Breathe a little bit. Digest what has happened. But definitely speak to an attorney. Very timely, subsequently. Because you never know who might show up when somebody's eyes closed.
Exactly.
That's the reality.
3847142384. Please leave the number up. 38471442. WhatsApp messages, or you can call. Questions, concerns, comments regarding, you know, if you're in a situation or you know someone in a situation or your children are in that situation and you yourself need to educate them because they're not doing anything about it, or a friend, a neighbor, a colleague, you can advise them accordingly. And of course the program has been designed to answer those questions you may have, and today we're talking about common law relationships, partners. What are your rights? Where do you stand in that relationship? Yeah?
I think these, like domestic violence, maintenance, property settlement, estate, these are so, like somebody could be sitting down right now and this program is so informative, as Zelisa, because I mean, I literally spoke to somebody in the TTPS Community Justice Clinic who happened to be watching this program and who said she was so frustrated in the morning and she was in the kitchen and her partner who was abusive was watching this program and she overheard about the Community Justice Clinic and she knew we were talking about violence, domestic violence that day, and she came to the clinic.
Thank God,
yeah.
At least we reached that person.
Yeah,
you know,
so
help.
I mean, knowing the rights here through this forum is really amazing and beneficial to the public. Yeah.
You know, really, you work with people, or you go out there in public. You might be in a taxi, you might be sitting in a restaurant. You work with people and you really do not know what sort of environment they just came out of.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
true.
know the life that they're living. You don't know the horror story.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Even with violence, as I say horror story, you could be talking to somebody, you don't know what bruises they have on them, what they're hiding. You see a smile and you think it's okay, but it isn't. And all these years doing domestic violence matters so closely, it really could take a toll on a practitioner who lives and breathes these matters. But if people don't have a forum like this, or a forum that isn't exorbitant to their pocket then to really know their rights, they might just stay in this situation. Like you say, it might end up a fatality.
Let me tell you, I mean, because apart from television, I do radio as well. I do some time on radio. And over the years, the stories I would have heard, because many women in particular, and believe you, men do call and complain as well.
Yes.
They relate. I don't know if it's because of the music or because of what you say and how you say it. They call and they tell you their problems because they're looking for an avenue to vent.
Yeah.
They're looking for somebody to talk to listen to their story, who would give them the time of the day and not carry their business to Tom, Mary, Jane, Harry, and Sally.
Yeah.
And I remember clearly, someone calling in and saying, "You just saved me from beating, my wife.
Yeah.
You just saved that woman, or God knows I could have been in jail." And
that's so important. That not only the program could help victims, but it could help aggressors.
Of
yeah.
course,
to realize, let me not do this, otherwise I have consequences
yeah,
too.
They realize. And like this morning somebody called and I said to the person, and I want to say a little bit about it, because a lot of us talk about letting go and forgiving. And some of us say it's hard to forgive. You don't forgive that person. You could forgive them for forgiveness sake. You don't forget what they do, but you forgive them for you, you know. You forgive them for you, so that you could be at peace with yourself and you could close that chapter. You could close that hurt and pain.
I agree with that.
And let it be, and allow you. When you forgive, you really need to understand you're doing this for you, not for the individual. Yes. Now somebody's calling. I want to take your call, but we need to take a short break. We'll take your call after the break. Let's go to these important messages. Stay with us.
This is the final notice to all our patrons. Fab India Expo will definitely be closing on Monday 21st August. Everything in store up to 80% off. Final few days to relish multi-cuisine food court. Big sale on furniture. We thank all our patrons for their support. We should be back for Diwali. Once again, final extension. Fab India Expo will definitely be closing on 21st August. No further extensions.
Super quality supermarket. Best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Hoover Car Park, Hoover, 98 Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket.
Passage to Asia, the award-winning restaurant and banquet suite located in the heart of Chaguanas, the best fusion food restaurant in Trinidad and Tobago. From the second you enter to the moment you leave, you will be treated like royalty. Come dine in luxury and enjoy the finest combination of Asian cuisine prepared by skilled and qualified chefs at Passage to Asia. The experience is truly unforgettable, perfect for families, couples, and large groups. Passage to Asia, located at St. Ives Street, Chaguanas. Contact 672-2701. Also, visit us on Facebook and Instagram.
Have you been diagnosed with stroke, Parkinson's disease, dementia, or migraine headaches? Do you have weakness of your feet, hands, or face? Are you having trouble with your memory? Do you keep forgetting where you place your keys? Do your hands shake? Are your muscles stiff? Do you have bad headaches? Then the solution is Synapse Medical Services Limited. The consultant physician at Synapse Medical Services is a UK-trained specialist in internal medicine with Canadian training in general neurology and stroke neurology. To book an appointment now, WhatsApp 367-9368. That is 367-9368, and be on your way to a speedy recovery.
All of our viewers on Synergy TV, those of you on the Caribbean Showtime television in Canada, or those of you listening to us on U975 FM Multicultural Radio, welcome back. This is Conversations with Zelisa. I'm Zelisa, in conversation with learned attorney at law Sajina Kadir, and welcome back, Ms. Kadir.
Thank you.
I'm going to go to this question that came in. Good morning. I am a woman with her own house and car. It's in my parents' and my name jointly. All bills are in my name. In a common law or legal marriage, can a husband get half of my ownership in a divorce or split? How can I protect myself from losses?
Right. So if the relationship is coming to the end, there's a issue if you try transferring off things, right? So because she's part owner, if you become like so overthinking and you start to transfer of your assets, like put it in the parent's name and that kind of thing, there you may be exposing yourself to a cause of action there. But to just answer at basic as I could now, if you own property $200,000 with somebody, then your half entitlement, which is the 100,000, your married partner is entitled to the half of the value of your half then.
But that's your married partner.
Yes, or common law.
Okay, so I want to establish this because it's a good question. I'm sure there are people in the same scenario. So this is a lady very independent.
Yes.
She has her own house. She work and pay for her house and it's her house, or however she gets it, it's hers. She has her own vehicle.
Yes.
She pays all the bills because everything is in her name.
Yes.
And she's just concerned, so she's decided whenever to put it as well in her parents' name, so it's joint, parents and her, right?
Yes.
So her concern is in the event, whether she's married or she's in a common law relationship, and we'll work on either one, so you'll tell us the rights of either, decide, well, I don't want to live with him anymore.
Yeah.
How does she protect herself? Because it's hers.
Right.
She worked hard for it.
Yes. The sad part about it is, like vehicles, if you own it by yourself then, if you choose to add somebody, you still have part ownership. So it still constitutes part of matrimonial assets. So your half entitlement is what the person will be entitled to. So
they will be common law or married.
Or married. So if the vehicle is worth 200,000 and it's joint ownership with one person, then like let's just say a mother or a father and that person, then and your entitlement is 100,000, then the person could claim half of that 100,000, so 50,000. Yes. But in a situation like that, monetary wise, sometimes what people do, right, is offset assets. So you keep that vehicle, but if the person is asking for a lump sum payment, you minus the value from it then. So it's like a negotiation with assets then. It's not always taken hard and fast like, okay, the washing machine is X, this is X, the car is X. You say, well, I'll leave the washing machine, I'll ask for less sum of money.
I'm a little troubled, and I'll tell you why. I think, this is just my perspective, and I think if this woman or any man, they've worked for this on their own, real hard, they make sacrifice, and they purchase these things.
Right.
And for whatever reason, that relationship is no longer working.
Right.
And they both decide it's not working and we're going to separate. So if it's a common law, obviously it's separate, there's no divorce. And if it's a marriage, well, there is a divorce. You know, I find it, especially if there are no children involved and things like that, I find it very hard to just have to give up what you work hard for.
And you know, I mean, I've seen people in matters that came to my office in a situation where they feel they have solely financially borne that burden of getting that vehicle and happen to put their mother's name.
That person was a deadbeat.
Right.
That person did not if the person, let me clear myself here. If the person worked along with you and contributed and paid mortgage payments or give you X and say, hey, let's do this, yes, they deserve it. Huh? Don't get me wrong.
You are correct.
But if you didn't do nothing, you sleeping late, you going liming, you thinking, you gambling, you womanizing, and exactly a bomb. You said it correct. And you wasting my time and treating me bad and whatever. And you want to come and claim what is mine, what I work for?
That's why I want to tell that person,
look,
to every good rule there are certain exceptions, but you will be faced with the onerous task of proving that you solely did X or you solely did Y so that the asset shouldn't be interfered with. For example, there was willful misconduct during the relationship, so the court will come off its usual principles. But I strongly advise that person to speak to an attorney, because there's only so much basic advice that could be given in this forum in the absence of asking maybe 201 questions.
Lady, you work hard, it's yours. There must have been some reason, there was a discerning spirit within you to put it in your parents' name.
That's true.
Had to be some intuition she had to protect herself. And if you know that you're getting out of it, my humble suggestion to you, please get some sort of proper legal advice.
That's right.
One-on-one and get legal
give yourself
advice.
the benefits
Know
of
what your
understanding
rights
your
are,
rights.
especially if you know that person did not contribute anything to what you work hard for, or even, you know, in many cases as well, parents work very hard.
Yeah.
And they give their children a piece of land,
Yeah.
or they give their children a house and say, go live in it, or whatever the case is. That other person never contribute a black cent, never work a day in their life.
Yeah.
These people probably didn't eat, I'm just saying, made
Yeah.
so many sacrifices.
Yeah.
And you just want to come and take what is not yours.
That's like having a sole breadwinner, out of love, put their partner's name on the deed. And then the person come and fight for rights, knowing that not 1 cent or not 1 effort or not 1, and if you went to it, but they just put your name because they wanted the union of marriage to feel that sense of inclusion. When things go wrong, I mean, so, as bad as this sound, people try to dig out people, you know, Zelisa.
Prevention is better than cure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I strongly advise people who have these concerns and questions to, you know, reach out to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, try legal aid. But I mean, or even the TCPS Community Justice Clinic. But I mean, at the end of the day, don't sit down and just wonder.
Don't sit
and don't Google it either.
Oh gosh, that's such great advice.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of people just wait, they procrastinate for whatever reason. So a week goes into a month, and month goes into months.
And these things have
and
time
years,
frames.
and these things
Just
have
like with the
time
common
frames.
law application for property settlement, there's a 2-year time frame, so you want to be mindful of that as well.
Mm-hmm. Your closing comments for today, what are you going to impart?
I will strongly say to people who feel that you live together and you're not married, so you have no rights if something goes wrong. Newsflash, you do have rights. It's similar to that of a married partner. And I mean, whether married or live in common law, I strongly advise members of the public, if you have any question on your rights, what you're entitled to, get help and seek an attorney. If you Google in the right forum.
Google in the right form, because a lot of people go to Google for information and they're misled, or a lot of people talk to people who are not competent or they don't understand the nature and they are misled. Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Yes, what's your question, please?
Yes, my question is, could they sign some sort of agreement for a common law partner stating that in the event that they separate, they are not entitled to anything once they did not contribute?
That's a good question.
Right.
What do you say?
It sounds like she's asking about like what they call prenuptial agreements, and that is not applicable in our law in Trinidad. That's American law.
But but I understand. But what I'm saying is that so they don't have prenuptial here.
Right.
But if you're getting into a common law relationship with someone,
right,
and you have assets and you're fearful that could they not sign something stating that, you know, in case I contribute, I'll get equity to what I contribute. Otherwise, you are not entitled to anything that I have here, and it's a written agreement.
So, because the law entitles you to certain things, you could sign an agreement, but you will have a fool's comfort, because the law still exists even if the agreement is signed.
Even if that person stated they don't want anything that's not theirs?
So if it was just living together as roommates and a common law situation has not, that threshold hasn't been reached, you could sign anything you want and it could stand. But because the law gives you certain rights, it come like if you didn't reach the common law threshold and you're signing agreeing to something. You don't know. It depends on when you sign the agreement, caller, if the time frame has reached to be the common law partner. So many questions.
It's a good question, though, you know, because if you know, thank you so much. It's a very good question that you ask, and do have a good day. The thing is, I could understand what she's saying with regards to if you're in a relationship, you decide to take the relationship further to live together, but you agree, I already have a house, I already have 2 cars, I already have whatever. You agree, you're not entitled, we're getting into this relationship, but I am signing and agreeing that I don't want anything that's yours.
Right. So
we have 1 minute.
So if they agree to that before you reach the common law threshold, it's like you don't know the rights available when you reach the common law threshold. So that person has to tread very carefully, because they could rock back and have an agreement.
Get some legal advice.
And have a fool's comfort agreement.
Get some legal advice.
I agree with you.
Get some legal advice.
Seek some proper advice in a forum to talk.
I want to thank you kindly. We look forward to you joining us again very soon. God bless you. I want to ask all of you, if you're in a situation you need her number, just send me a WhatsApp to 3847142. I'll forward it to you. You could call her, have that one-on-one with her. She'll advise you. She could also tell you about the Community Justice Clinic as well as legal aid. She can advise you, all right? I thank each and every one of you kindly for choosing us, allowing us to answer those unanswered questions. Here's reminding you that with God, all things are possible. Thanks for choosing us. I am Zelisa Budusing Rupani. Have yourselves an awesome day.